Well, that game just wasn't fun at all, eh? Hi, I'm Weston. I love talking about the Rangers for some reason, and today I'm here to recap Game 25 of the regular season. Rangers lose to the Bruins. We get shut out 4-0 in TD Garden. And, okay. I'm gonna blow through this recap and then just start complaining, right? Because there's not that much to talk about. A positive, Artemi Panarin will probably be back Saturday or maybe Monday, around there. Within the next week, he will return. He was skating with the team yesterday, which is Wednesday. Today he was also working out with the team, so very soon he will be back. That's a positive. Let's just get right into it. First period, 15:46. Pastrnak takes the puck in pretty deep. Brad Marchand gets it. He moves it around a little bit, gets the puck back over to Pastrnak. He takes a big shot, and it goes in. It's 1-0 Boston. I'm like, all right, neat, whatever. They're a good team. I expected to lose this game. I didn't expect this to happen. This game as a whole. Later on in the first period, 2:53, Nick Ritchie takes a slashing call. The Rangers get a power play. On the power play, we give up a even man rush. Marchand and Bergeron. They're going 2-on-2 into our zone. Marchand takes a shot. Bergeron gets it. And then he scores, and now it's 2-0, and we gave up a shorthanded goal. And that was it for the first period. We looked awful. And our power play looked specifically bad because we could not even establish any semblance of control of the puck. And it was kind of comical. A little bit later on, second period, 17:46, Hayek takes a holding call. Boston gets a power play. On the power play, it's 16:29. The Bruins get a power play goal, so that's an even strength, a shorthanded, and a power play. Give them a hat trick. I'm not going to do my hat throw thing for a hat trick because I'm angry. 15:08 left in the period. Jake DeBrusk gets I believe it was a breakaway. I can barely remember it. I'm already suppressing the memories. And now it's 4-0. Keith Kincaid is in net. Later on, 7:48 in the period left of the second. Lingard gets a slashing penalty. He goes to the box. Boston gets another power play. We somehow kill it off. Then we get a power play with 1:05 left because Brad Marchand had a holding call. And I believe it was on... I can't quite remember. But it was behind our net. So that happens. We get a power play. We don't do much with it. And that carries over into the second period. And we just look awful after 2 periods of hockey. Third period, 9:13 left. David Pastrnak for tripping. The Rangers get a power play. That's all cool. And then 2:45 left. Nick Ritchie gets another tripping call. The Rangers get another power play. And I literally wrote who even cares at this point. And that was it. 3 minutes. That is the fastest hockey recap I've ever made. But we're not going to leave it at that. We are going to keep going and talk about what even is the deal right now, right? So, we looked awful for the first 40. We looked fine, like we played okay in the third period. But here's the thing. When you're down 4-0, you can't just look fine and expect to get away with it. When you're down 4-0, you have to look great in the third period to make me even be not angry at you. And we didn't. And I don't understand what happened. And again, I'm going to start talking and complaining in a second. Georgiev went 10 for 14, which is bad. A 733, I believe, save percentage. I believe that was what it was. It's irrelevant. Keith Kincaid goes 13 for 13. And I've seen quite a few Rangers fans on Twitter, and I believe it was Ron, I can't remember the last name, said this might be Georgiev's last game as a Ranger, which is sad, because I like Georgiev. And it would be sad to see him go. But, I mean, after this last little bit of stretch that he is on, I can kind of see why. And don't get me wrong, I think, obviously, it's sad to say that. But at some point, you kind of have to go with the mantra of, what have you done for me recently? And recently, Alexander Georgiev put away how much we like him as a fan base. And look at this realistically. So far this season, I don't believe this is counting tonight. It might be, actually. No, it is not. So not counting tonight. Obviously, tonight was bad. 10 for 14. His last game against the Penguins, He was in there for 6 shots and gave up 3 goals. And the game before that against the Devils, he gave up 3 goals. So that is 3 goals, 3 goals, and 4 goals. And not a ton of time to have that happen. This season, again, not counting tonight, he had a .897 save percentage, which is bad. And a 3.03 goal against, which is also not good. And then tonight is only going to get worse because he gave up 4 goals in like 30 minutes about, and only on 14 shots. So, now to actually complain about the game, right? Put away all of that, because now we're done with the actual recap. Now I'm just going to start voicing what I saw, right? Like, I'm not angry that we lost to Boston. That makes sense, right? Boston is a very good team, and even though right now they're not doing fantastic in the standings, they're still a playoff team. They're still a very good team. When you have a great head coach like they do in Bruce Cassidy, you have the top line like they do with Pastrnak, Marchand, and Bergeron, you're obviously going to score a lot of goals. I believe those 3 have combined for like 34 goals this season already. It's something quite insane. And my point being, I understand why we lose to a team like this. I get that. Jaroslav Halak is having a fantastic season, and even if it was Tuukka Rask net, he's also having a pretty darn good season. So I'm not mad that we lost to Boston. I'm mad that we played like that against Boston, right? This is the thing. I didn't expect a Stanley Cup this year, obviously. We are not anywhere near that level. I didn't expect to be good. I expected to be mediocre. I was okay missing the playoffs. I was like, you know what, we're probably going to miss them. That's okay, right? That's fine. But this is so different than what I hoped for and what I expected. Right, I expected to miss the playoffs. I didn't expect to look wholly inconsistent and also just bad. Right, this game was atrocious. And, like, we skated hard. Like, it's obvious that they want to win. I just don't think it's being coached to them how to win. And that's ultimately on David Quinn, who I don't think is a very good coach, and I've been open about that on the channel. I want him fired. And at this point, we're about halfway through the season. And I don't see it happening at this point. Like, I think he's going to be here for the remainder of the year. I think he's going to ride it out. And I assume we'll probably try to find someone in the offseason. But at what point do you say, look, this season is over, right? I don't feel like this is how you should look at it every year. Because obviously, there's 31 teams in the NHL, there's 30 teams in baseball, and there's 32 in football. So obviously not every team, because that would be, at least 29 other teams throwing in the towel if they say, yeah, we're not going to win the Stanley Cup, World Series, Super Bowl, what have you. So I'm not in the opinion that I'm just going to use hockey right here. If you don't think you were going to win the Stanley Cup, you should just throw in the towel, pull the chute, and trash the whole organization. I'm not saying that, and I'm not saying that for the Rangers. But at what point do you say, look, we're not going to make the playoffs anyway, right? Whether we have David Quinn for the last, 30 games, or whether we don't. We're not making the playoffs. At what point do you just say, look, he might be inspiring bad habits on the players? We have a ton of young talent. We had a line tonight of 3 players that the oldest one was 21. It was Hedel, Kakko, and Lafreniere, who was 19, 20, and 21. At what point do you say, look, even if it means kind of punting on the season, right? Even if it means, throw in the towel on this year. At what point do you say, look, maybe Quinn's inspiring bad habits. Maybe we should just move on from him anyway, even if that hurts the season more than it already is. And I honestly don't even think that's possible, because we look fantastically bad right now. But, and I can't emphasize this enough, I'm fine losing to Boston, right? This game, we are not a great team. Boston beats a lot of teams. I'm not angry that we lost to Boston. I'm angry that we lost like this, 4-0. You can take away their power play goal, you can take away their even strength goals. If you only gave Boston their shorthanded goal, they still beat us tonight. That is... And again, I understand. This, I can say anything, because I am an idiot talking in Florida, and I don't play professional hockey. But that is unacceptable. This team looked awful tonight. And it wasn't just, oh, well, Boston's a good team. No. We looked awful. We played bad. We looked like a joke. This game was hard to watch, and beyond that, it was just kind of boring. The Rangers didn't have anything interesting going on. There were no real highlight saves by Georgiev or Kincaid. There was no interesting moments on the power play where we really started to pound the puck hard and really looked like we were going to have a good chance. We had, to my memory, and I just watched the game like 10 minutes ago, we had one really good shot. It was Lindgren's breakaway. That was about it. It was bad. And I will say, at least Quinn was changing up the lines in the third period. At least he was doing that. Like, I'm very critical on you. At least you were trying to experiment and see what you got. And I liked the fact that you put Hedel, Kakko, and Lafreniere on a line together. I really liked that. I'd be fine with rolling that line into the next game. But, man, this has been an interesting 3-game stretch. The Rangers have looked awful, and I don't know what to say. Hopefully, Shesterkin now is just again listed as day-to-day. Panarin's back practicing with the team, so hopefully, in a perfect world, and we don't live in a perfect world, but hopefully, God willing, Saturday, we could have Shesterkin back in net, and we could have Panarin back on this first or second line. I don't know where we would want to put Panarin at this point, but have him back. Then I would be infinitely more happy. I just want Panarin back, man. Tonight was a weird game, right? Tonight was not a good game. And I can't, I'm having a hard time articulating my thoughts because it's just, there's nothing to talk about. We looked flat tonight. We looked flat the other night, and we looked flat the night before that. We looked... I don't know what else to say. Really. Yeah, I got nothing. That's it. So, we play Boston again, Saturday at 1. And I'll see you guys after that game. Hopefully, God willing, with a Panarin back in the lineup and a Igor Shesterkin in net. So that's all I have. Thank you all so very much for watching. I hope you all have an absolutely fantastic day. Go Rangers.